It's a pleasure to speak to a group that doesn't need to be convinced of Latin America's vital importance to the United States.
It was always about what can we do for Latin America? What can we do for the Americas? It's no longer that. It's what can we do with Latin America?
The region is far from perfection, but the progress is unmistakable.
Latin Americans are shaping their own future. They are writing their own story. The United States is committed to supporting the vision of the people in the region.
I'm deeply vested in the promise of prosperity, innovation, and reasonable growth. And I know that we can do this together with all of you on this call and the Council of America.
For almost 60 years, the Council of the Americas has been the top organization focused on the Western Hemisphere with a business focus. We don't just lead the conversations, we actually help create the conversations around the Western Hemisphere.
You do so much to advance our common values throughout this hemisphere. And I want to thank you for your tireless efforts to educate about our hemisphere and to push for our common interests.
It's always great to interact with the government officials that the council is able to gather together to hear their take on what they need industry to be doing in their country.
There's really a great avenue to get your issues in front of people who are your stakeholders, but to people who are actually the decision makers, public and private sector.
And also learning from colleagues who are in other industries. We share the same challenges about growing business and growing economic opportunity for all in the Americas.
Knowledge, history of what goes on in the region, and a continuity. I've been there through 3 administrations in the States, but the Council of Americas is exactly the same.
The private sector has a unique voice around the Western Hemisphere, particularly now when there's an active conversation about whether state-led growth or private sector-led growth is the more appropriate way to get to economic recovery. This is a conversation that the private sector absolutely has to not just be part of, but has to be leading.
There is no reason why the Western Hemisphere can't be the most forward-looking, most democratic, most prosperous, most peaceful, secure region in the world. We have unlimited potential. We have enormous resources.